We walk the remaining block or two, and as I walk into Starbucks, I call out Sarah. A woman stands up, yells very emphatically, "Thank you so much. I have to go to the hospital now to be there for the birth, but I appreciate this so much. Blah blah." She throws her arms around me in a huge hug and then runs out the door, and that's it. I looked up social experiments, TV shows, and every couple of years I remember in Google to see if anyone has experienced anything similar, but nothing. Never have had a reasonable suggestion that makes sense to me, and it's just something that bothers me when I think about it. These weren't university-aged people. These were adults in their late 30s or 40s at least. So I don't think it was a school project or anything. Any idea what this could have been for? What the purpose of the whole interaction was? I live in suburban West Virginia with a forest behind the line of houses on my side of the street. Yesterday I went to put clothes in my closet and I heard a very faint but clear pack of canine animals barking, yelping, and crying all at the same time. Different sound from each canine could easily be coyotes looking for others, but I'm also insanely paranoid. The fact my dog was barking more than usual throughout the late afternoon was also concerning. The sound slowly faded away, however, and just disappeared. I asked my friend today in class, who's in the same area, if he heard the same pack of animals crying making those noises. He did, and it reassured that I wasn't crazy. He's also 4 blocks away from me, around 8-minute walk, which concerned me because I'm also not sure how far a normal animal cry travels. He seemed to be a little suspicious of it as well. If anyone knows anything, please do let me know if I'm being stupid or not. As a native Floridian and avid hunter growing up, I have seen and have heard lots of things in the woods around our great state. Some things were easy to understand, and some things were just not explainable. Anyway, this is mine. My mother's story. I had her proofread this before sending it to make sure I remember this correctly. It's the fall of 1976, and I was 5 years old. My mom and I lived in Kathleen, Florida, on the edge of the Green Swamp. Back then it was a dirt road, and there were only a couple of houses on the road and a relatively new trailer park at the end of the road. We had to drive a little less than half a mile back down our trail of a driveway to get to our home. It was an old wood frame home that was over 100 years old. We had an artesian well pump in the kitchen, and for the first few months we lived there, we had to heat the water on the gas stove to have hot bath water. This was an old cracker house on blocks and had a front porch that I used to play under all the time. The roof of the porch was on a pitch and the edge was over the wooden stairs. It measured 7'6" from the ground to the roof line, so it was nearly desk. When my mom and I were coming down the drive in her VW bus, she had lights on high to spot any deer that might be on the property. As we rounded the curve in the driveway and the lights shined on the house, that's when we both saw it. And it was big and broad and looking directly at our car. Now, I'm not going to tell you it had big red eyes. The eyes shine that I saw for only a split second was golden. It turned and walked down the side of the house between the cow pasture fence and the house. My mom hit the gas and went around the great oak tree that was at the corner of the porch. She got around the side of the house and we saw nothing. She grabbed a .38 revolver and jumped out of the car, telling me to lock the doors. Little good that would have done, looking back. So with the car off, headlights shining, and my mom at our fence line, she stood and stayed quiet. Our hunting dogs that were in their kennels were whimpering. They normally barked at anything when we came home. Not this night. They were scared. There's more to the story. The next day, we looked for prints. The porch and the oak tree. Size is relevant because it's what we used to size up our guest. The creature was standing next to our porch, and his head was just under the edge of the roof. 7'6" at the edge of the overhang. So now, being older and having a firm grasp on measurement, I'm guessing this thing was 7 foot tall. It was nearly as thick or wide